All right. If I can have everybody's attention, we'll get started this morning. Certainly appreciate everyone being here this morning. We do have a couple that will be out for some illnesses with their family and so on. So bear with us. Welcome, February 2nd, 2019. I officially call this meeting to order. With that, we'll move to item number 2, with the invocation. Somebody want to give the invocation? Yeah. Okay, council, thank you.
Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for your blessings. Father, as we've prayed before, we pray for your will to be done. We pray for strength, courage, determination, and we pray for wisdom. Father, your word declares that anything we ask for in your name we would receive. Father, I pray for this tribe as a whole, each one of us, Lord, as you have given us gifts, to use those gifts to the best of our ability. And with your grace and mercy, with you leading and guiding, I give you all the praise, glory, and honor for the things that have been accomplished through this council. And I pray, Lord, this day that you would give us, Lord, the knowledge and the wisdom to continue leading and guiding according to your will. Thank you, Father, as we bind up the ugly spirit of humanism. And help us, Lord, to remember that it's not about us. It's about the people that we serve. We give you all the praise, glory, and honor for that. In Jesus' name, this is the day in which thou hast made. I'll rejoice and I'll be glad in it. Amen.
Thank you, Councilor Benoit. Thank you for that invocation. Item number 3, roll call.
Hey, good morning, Council. I will call for roll, which is item number 3 on the agenda this morning. Eddie? Jeannie?
Here.
Ella Mae?
Here.
Adeline?
Here.
Frankie?
Here.
Sharon? Joyce? Here. Peggy is absent. Jamie?
Here.
Charles is absent. Barry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Here.
Okay, Council, we have 9 present. We have quorum.
Secretary,
Yes, ma'am.
about Peggy not being here, but her brother and mother are both in the hospital. One's in Carlton, one's at Clark. So she said that she may not be here if they're not doing well. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Also, Charles Smoke won't be in attendance this week. His son's been hospitalized, and it kind of took a turn for the worst. So y'all just keep him in prayer for his son.
Okay, thank you for that. And please keep the 2 council members and their family in their prayers for speedy recoveries, and we'll go from there. Item number 4, the chief's address to the council. Well, first of all, I just want to say good morning. Thank you all for being here. I have heard that I've just been informed that the Possatucket bill has identified an early spring. So whether or not that's true or not, we'll have to wait to see. A couple of things. On January 5th, we had our inauguration. For those of you that attend, welcome, council. Thank you for coming on board with that. It was and thank the staff. Travis, Brittany, Robinson Cole, all the staff that was involved with that. Thank you for coordinating those activities for the inauguration. On January 11th, now this is an issue that is coming up in terms of actually call meeting and not call meeting, those sorts of things. January 11th, we had on or about that time, 6 council members requested a council meeting. I agreed to the council meeting. We were slated for the 19th, but due to the hazardous road conditions, I made a determination at that time and postponed the meeting till January 26th. So at that time, we had our meeting. I followed what I thought was the Constitution as far as it goes, with me allowing me to call a special meeting, as well as it's unclear or it's silent about whether or not you can postpone a council meeting. So therefore, I did do so. On this February 16th marks the 9th month since our appeal that we heard in the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. We pray for our decision in our favor. On or about January 23rd, a gentleman by the name of John Miller came to my office and he wanted to send a letter, in a positive letter in favor of the United Cotulla Band of Cherokee Indians to the courts. From time to time, we get those types of requests. I did not stop him. I kind of figured out that since he wasn't a part of the actual claim, his information would not be recognized or it would not be admitted to the courts. But he did get a response. On January 25th, 2019 marks the longest federal government shutdown in U.S. history, ending with the president signing a continuing resolution. Over 800,000 tribal members were affected. Many parks and services were also being closed at this time. With that, on or about February 15th, we have the possibility of a second shutdown. Unless Congress and the president pass a budget, hopefully they will come to an agreement and that second part of that will not happen. Yes, it did affect us. It affected us in many ways, products and services and so on. In this case, the executive staff as well as the council have put together a plan to ensure that we will continue on. Finally, one thing that's coming up, February 14th through the 10th through the 14th, the National Congress of the American Indian will meet in Washington, D.C. to discuss these issues, all the different issues, the various working groups, Indian child welfare amendments and furtherance, tribal land work group and things of that nature, various federal recognition task force and things of this nature. I plan to attend that meeting and speak on behalf of the United Cotulla Band of Cherokee Indians and visiting with various senators and legislatures as well as the agencies that support the United Cotulla Band. And that concludes my report. So we will move to item number 5, the approval of the minutes for the month of December 2018, as well as January 2019.
I also brought one for the 19th of January. We went on ahead and had a meeting. I also want to point out that I brought the minutes since I was the volunteer and the council approved for that particular day to take the minutes. I brought those for the 19th, and I think that even though the chief said that he called it off, the majority of us drove many miles because we care about our people, and we came anyway. There was no problems getting here. We had a quorum that day. Our AG was here, and we ratified what we did on that day. We ratified it the following week. So I think on behalf of the council who does come out, who does do what we
pledged to do, we showed up for that special council meeting. And I think that the council should vote on those minutes also. So, and you all have those. Okay, that's all I have for that one.
All right, thank you for that. Yes, those will be added to the minutes here. We'll put in the Bahari here. We did come back on the 26th and re-ratify those minutes as they were at that point. Yes, thank you.
On the January 5th minutes, they're not complete. There's a resolution 19 UKB 04 that's not addressed in that in the minutes.
Okay.
Nineteen UKB 04 is not in the minutes. One of the first resolutions we passed, the counselor from the Delaware District made a motion to terminate the accounting personnel, and it's not in the minutes. I'm looking at the January 5th minutes. I didn't see them in there. I may have overlooked it, but I read them. I didn't see that resolution. What page? There's a page on the bottom. What's the page number? Three. Page 6. We must have different sets of minutes, I guess. Chief, page 6. Well, I know, but these are what we're approving, the minutes right here, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not in mine. You got it in yours? This is the document that we approve. Is it? I don't have it in mine, Secretary. I'm just saying it's not in mine. Are we approving December 1st? Also, December 1st in this deal? Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Well, if it's okay, then I will make a motion to approve the minutes as corrected, that they be added to. Okay.
For the 5th, is that the one you're?
For all of them here, the 19th, the 1st, December 1st, January 5th, January 19th, and 26th. I think that's what we have here, four sets. Yeah, Frankie seconded it.
All right, we have a motion made and second. Jamie made the motion, seconded. Frankie seconded. Secretary will prepare to vote with the inclusion.
Okay, they will include December 2018, January the 5th, January 19th, the ones produced by Adeline Smith, and January the 26th, where we ratified just from the business of the 19th. Okay, I have a motion by Jamie and a second by Frankie with the correction of the insert of the 19 UKB 04. I will call for vote. Eddie is absent. Jeannie? Ella May?
Yes.
Adeline?
Well,
Frankie? Sharon?
yes.
I vote yes. Peggy is absent. Jamie?
Yes.
Charles is absent. Barry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, council, we have we have 9 and motion carries, council. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, we have item number 6, report to councils, enrollment report, district meeting information, Joyce Hall. Secretary Hall.
Okay, council, the enrollment committee met on January the 22nd, 2019. Present was 3 members. At that time, we did not have any applications for new membership, but we had 3 requests for tribal relinquishment. Within those reasons for relinquishment, we had 2 for medical and 1 for employment. But at this time, I would ask for a motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Frankie and a second by Adeline to accept the enrollment report. I will call for vote, and that is under item number 6. Eddie is absent. Jeannie?
Yes.
Ella May?
Yes.
Adeline?
Well,
Frankie? Sharon?
Yes.
I vote yes. Peggy is absent. Jamie?
Yes.
Charles is absent. Barry?
yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, council, motion carries with a 9 count. Okay, council, last month we had voted to use the wellness center for the opioid and OVC grant. I know they'll be located here at the wellness center. In the past, we have used the building to help the Cherokee County Election Board. So I know Jennifer had said they're going to be moving in sometimes this week. Right, Sean? Is it sometimes this week? Okay. We had within this time frame, they're also going to need help with using the wellness center for the election. And so I'm asking that we can continue to help them. They just use inside the wellness center, I guess, just like the lobby part. I just know Adam helps them set up maintenance. So they have some dates here. Tuesday, February the 12th will be for the city of Tahlequah election. March the 5th will be for the Woodall School Board. And April the 2nd will be for the Tahlequah School Board. So up here at the Wellness Center.
Yeah. Where at? What part of it?
I think they just use the gym,
Oh, okay.
just inside our gym right there. But I just want to we still continue to help them with
Okay,
their
yeah.
elections.
Speaking of which, how much more do our election board need that room where they're at?
They have cleared out their office and stuff as of Friday.
Okay.
So the rooms the maintenance is trying to get them all ready for the grants people to come in.
Okay.
So, Okay, but I just wanted to inform you
Yeah,
that we.
thanks for that
accommodated.
update. Yeah.
So Joyce, are you saying they won't be here now? We don't have to motion for them to go as
Yeah,
in the
after
previous
business,
years?
Okay. Yeah, they're done.
They're gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
their rooms are ready for the
Okay.
grant people. That's my report to you, to the council. No, we've always helped them. I just wanted to let you know that we'll still be helping with their elections over there.
Okay. All right, thank you for that, Al. Next item on the agenda is financial report. Treasurer Worley.
Okay, council, as you see, there's no finances at this time. As you know, but we've been diligently working to get our finances done. So at this time, give us about 2 more weeks. We found things that's misconstrued and kind of not right. So we're getting our directors to do their own drawdowns at this time, which is the way it should have been all this time. But they are learning. Some of them have already drawn the drawdown, so we'll be able to get our IDC, and we're figuring out the space allocation and all that. So maybe in about 2 weeks, we can have a budget meeting and things will be all straightened up by then.
Praise God.
Yeah, because things, when we went in, we didn't find things, even the audit wasn't done and wasn't sent off. We found that things were not done right. So we have Laura King that's working in there who's doing really well. And Lacey's been helping, and we've already interviewed 2 accounting staff to go in there and help out also, or hire maybe.
That
So,
is our priority, correct?
yes, it is. So maybe in about 2 weeks, we can have all of us as council can have a budget meeting and maybe we'll get things all, not maybe, we'll get things all straightened up by then because it's pretty well working right now. What the? Yes.
As far as that audit goes, where are we with that?
Well, Laura brought up, got some things and found some things because it was the way the other employees did it, and they didn't send it. They put it all in one, and they needed it separately, and it was like, I don't know. Sean might want to, the EDTO might want to explain.
Where we're at with the audit is they have gotten everything that they needed to Eid Bailey. We uploaded it on the portal, their website thing, and then they're coming Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And they'll be here at accounting, working with accounting, making sure they have everything and getting everything, making sure everything's in the order they need it and everything like that. So they'll be here for a couple days, Wednesday and Thursday. So as of now, we have gotten them everything they've needed, but it's been,
A mess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we've got it
Are
all.
we catching up on our separating all the coding that was so misconstrued?
No, not yet. We've been basically just trying to make sure we made up for the payrolls that we had, that we were able to work out with the bank, doing some like mezzanine financing things. Yesterday, there was some reports that we found out weren't filed, quarterly reports. So some of the other funding has been frozen.
Oh, my God.
But on Monday, we'll be able to get those done. That's a priority. I've talked to all the directors yesterday and last night. We'll be able to submit those and get them, get that funding open again. In the meantime, we do have that line of credit. We were able to pull down enough money to cover anything we owed to the bank. We're waiting on the housing approval from HUD, which we should get that probably Monday. That'll be a big chunk of money that we can replenish part of the general fund with. And then we also have the line of credit if we need to from the bank. So what we were able to do is we supplemented some of the holes we had with some of the money from childcare. So there was enough there. So we're all even. We're straight with the bank. Everything's good, and some of our drawdowns are working as the HHS money, Health and Human Services, which includes Title VI, some of Jennifer's funds, some of ICW, and some of child care, and the
Are
opioid.
you able at this time to comment whether this will be detrimental to our future funding?
I think we'll be okay. It's just a headache, and as long as we address it in a timely manner, and that's what we've been hustling on. I mean, everybody's been great. Nancy's helped,
Speaking of
housing's helped.
timely manner, we weren't doing that. That's why I'm asking you this question. We
Yeah.
did not do that.
Correct, and I think
Correct.
that the council addressed it when you made your action on the 5th, but we'll be able to make up for it. Everybody's pulled together and we've gotten this done, so I'm pretty proud of the staff at this point. But we'll be okay.
Well, I understand now that the people who are trying to get this cleaned up are people with great credentials
Yes.
to fix it.
Yes.
Ms. Harjo has her master's degree in
Yes.
accounting, and she's working on her doctorate towards
Yes.
PhD soon. So people be assured, we are trying to fix this
Right.
mess.
And
We have got people who are well qualified to fix it.
so just covering the expenses, operating costs, and payroll has been the main focus, which we've been doing this past month. And we're there, we're cool, we're good. Everybody got paid. Everybody's going to get paid this next week. And so we're good there. But the coding will, once we get even, where we're about even now, we address this stuff Monday with the HHS funds. After that, we'll go back into the recoding, and then that'll probably take 2 weeks or so, or 3. But then we'll be okay. Then we'll get everything back to where it was supposed to be. So that'll replenish the general fund. The housing one will replenish the general fund. We finally got the reimbursement from forestry. So there's some money there coming finally.
Oh, good,
We've been waiting on.
good,
So
good.
we'll be replenishing the general fund, and we should be okay.
How much from the forestry?
30,000, 32.
Thank you guys for working on that so diligently.
Yes.
I'm proud of all the staff's pulled together and
Yeah.
got it done.
And I want to say the EDTO has been leading all this and knows about all this and knew exactly what to do. So I'm just thankful that we have someone in there that knows what to do. So,
Also, I think there needs to be some things extended to the housing director, the corporate board accountant, and others down there. They have come together, and going above and beyond their actual duty. Sometimes I don't think everybody realizes that it took several years to get in this shape. You're certainly not going to get out of it overnight. But the attitude that I see around the office is nothing but positive. When you see everybody pitching in and wanting to help out and willing to do anything they can to get this thing straightened out, that really looks good and makes me feel good. We had a accountant that come in here several years ago and set this situation up that didn't have but one thing in mind, and his system was bill to, bill from, and bill to and bill from, and that's not the way it works in the government. Unfortunately, it got out of hand and took several years, and we're finally getting a handle on this, and we'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll get it back where it needs to be and where it can run and function properly in time. And I'm really proud of the staff there, and they all need to be commended. And if you ever get a chance, you might express to them how appreciative you are for them pitching in and going above and beyond what their actual duties are down there and helping get this thing straightened
And I
out.
do want to say one more thing. Chief Bunch did reach out to HUD. We got the approval for the extension for that, for the audit. So we're fine with HUD.
So
for
have
now.
you heard from HUD
Yeah,
then,
we heard from
after
them.
that?
Yes, so they approved it and we're good for till March, into March. But we should be done,
Before that?
yeah.
And this, keep in mind, this is 2017 audit that we're working on, and it's time now to start on the 2018. So we've got to get that going as well, so we'll have all this ready to go by June 30th. It's our goal not to be late this year. We're 2 years in a row, and this one is detrimental to our
That's right.
situation. But this year, our goal is to have this all done and ready to go by June 30th, like it's supposed to be, and get this thing right.
Right.
I just want to add that, yes, we are having growing pains. Members, people, we're here to serve you all. And I want you all to realize the proof is in the pudding, as they say. We are working hard, and we will show you that it is for you all that we're doing this.
Well, thank you, Sean.
All right, certainly, thank you for that and the staff that were involved in that. I'm going to make a comment about that and leave it at that, and we'll move on. Truly a great effort in getting us back to where we need to be, so to speak. We were in the midst of that. However, we changed a couple of things early on. The information was in the portal. There were some other outstanding issues that affected reporting and reports. People were moved into positions that later on that didn't come through and actually learn systems. So yeah, we all are involved in this, not just accounting girls, not just accounting staff, but we are pulling out of it, no doubt about it. And I just hesitate to think that it was anything else but that because of several decisions that were made prior to all this. And I'm going to leave that at that, and we'll go from there, okay? Thank you is that your financial report, Treasurer?
Yes.
Okay. Moving right along, Corporate Board, Assistant Chief.
You have the report there in front of you. I gave you the financials. The financials are looking pretty good, actually, this month. We're not in the red for the first time in a while. But anyway, I want to go over this report with you here. The corporate board met on the 25th. All members were present. Chief Bunch and Elmer Wardy were there as the ex officio officers. Randall Hendricks was present also. We're working, trying to, everybody knows we're going to put in a pub and a restaurant over here at the old building over here. So Michael Barber with Vet 4 is taking lead on that and raising the funding and going to renovate the building and working with Randall pretty closely on this thing. So he's interviewed several breweries throughout the country, and it appears that there's one in Broken Arrow called the Broken Arrow Brewery that had the best proposal to look at to do business with us. And so we met with those gentlemen there at our meeting, and they've agreed to come in and work with the Katua. They like what they see. They will produce our own recipes, and it'll be our own blends or whatever that we'll be selling there. And so we're looking, that's what the A is, Broken Arrow Brewery, introduced by Michael Barber, Bet4 Technologies. We've been working with Brew Pub discussions, several of them, but these gentlemen were very eager to work with the tribe and looking to partnership with us. B, Fred Mentor from the Arkansas Gaming Projects. Chief Bunch went down, and the Attorney General just took a trip this week to meet with some officials, city officials in Russellville and county. But Mr. Mentor heads up some projects. If y'all remember, a couple of years ago, the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma had spent a lot of money trying to get this on the ballot in Arkansas, and it failed. And this gentleman here is, I guess, one of the individuals that work in conjunction with the people that want gambling in Arkansas, I suppose, the way it was. And anyway, he wanted us to give him a substantial amount of money to try to get it on the ballot again. The way that he explained it in Arkansas, they approve gambling, but they only give so many licenses in certain areas. And they only allowed 4 this first time. And Russellville, Arkansas was one of them. You've seen probably some stuff in the paper and on Facebook and things of that area, but that's one of the areas that doesn't want a casino. The other areas that they're looking at for the future is right on the Missouri line, kind of south of Branson area for a casino, and in the northwest Arkansas, and then Little Rock area. And I can't remember where the other one was. But anyway, this gentleman wanted, they're soliciting funding to pay to get this on the ballot for those certain areas. That's basically what it amounts to. And no guarantee that it even get on the ballot for that kind of money. So anyhow, that's what that part of it means. We didn't partake in that. LS Fields came to the proposal to inject some capital into our Superior Funding, our lending business. We're still negotiating with him on some terms. We didn't like the terms that was first presented, so he's bringing back another proposal. On the 15th, it says that we held a special meeting where discussion of doing business with the Cool Fire Lighters. We denied to invest in that based on some due diligence that we had found out and the advice of our attorney. We also approved 2 new board members for KCI to sit on the construction board. KCI is Katua Construction. And we now have three members on that board. Sam Allen is a Katua member. He's one of them that's on the board. And Clinton Blue was selected. Clinton's full blood. I don't know if anybody knows Clinton or not. He's got a extensive background in construction, retired from the housing department for the Cherokee Nation Housing Authority. Lives in the Locust Grove area. Both these gentlemen are top notch people, good men, and they were willing to volunteer their time to sit on this board and work with the other board member, Wade Tackett. So KCI has a full board now. These guys will serve as, to help KCI move forward. KCI has already got some jobs in the pipeline. We've awarded a contract with our housing department. We've bid on some other jobs, and looks like we're getting pretty aggressive. So hopefully KCI will be up and running and profitable for long. We also talked about an update with the rhino skin case with our attorney. She briefed us that it is going to go to court here in Cherokee County. They've been trying to work out some details before going to court, which typically what happens. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like they want to settle. They want to give us, that's the way they always do. So we'll let the judge decide it. And on the back sheet there, it says we have some RFP requests for proposals published and are accepting bids for demolition and remodeling of the existing building. We're also looking to demo that old casino building over there and make room for a new one. And we've had a lot of people that want to come in and just kind of pick it like a buzzard, but we don't want that. We want it to go down and clean up and get it taken care of. You have a question?
Does that include the surveillance equipment that was mentioned at one of our meetings recently? All the surveillance equipment
that's over there.
Yeah.
It's in storage. I talked to.
Yeah.
You're talking about the old surveillance equipment that's in there.
Right, yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure. I
exact-
talked
yeah.
to,
We talked about getting bids to have that clean,
yeah,
take
yeah,
that
yeah.
down.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about the 19th meeting. Yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Dreadful Water is looking into that, getting some bids, some more. He's supposed to be bringing 2 more bids. I think he had 1 bid. I'm not sure how, it's kind of outdated and the technology changes so fast, so we don't know what the extent of it is. But according to somebody who looked at it, it may be able to use in a store or something of that nature, that doesn't require the type it is for casino. So anyway, he's looking for bids on that part of it. He says here, KCI submitted a bid for the demolition and remodel of the brew pub, so we're in the running for that. Also, we have Katua preference on that. That kind of concludes that one. I've got a couple of announcements here I just wanted to talk about here. Something here in the business. Mr. Wakachi works for is it Home Health Care? Yeah, Cherokee Nation Home Health Care. And there's no reason why we can't have a Katua Home Health Care to service our own people. No reason whatsoever. And that's a good business. It's a very lucrative business. And I have a daughter that's an LPN, and she worked for a home health care company once upon a time. And so I learned a little bit about it. But he had a very successful district meeting the other night I attended, and he had a lot of people there. And I got the idea that our people need Katua home health care. And so I've asked Randall to reach out and with the gentleman that I know that's from another tribe. Now I know this might be a sore spot for some of you, but CNO is not on the top of my list. I know people say we're all Cherokee, we eat same hog and all that stuff, but like I said, they get the roast and the pork chops, and we get pig's feet. They're not going to help us. They're our enemy. And as soon as everybody gets that through their head, we might move forward. There's a syndrome called the Stockholm Syndrome. I'd like for people to look that up sometime and just check that out. Now, I know they've got election coming up. And they're running around here and they're doing this and they're all for years and years. I'm 60 years old. And I don't know what a lot of y'all were doing in 1992, but I certainly know what I was doing. I was trying to get in the smoke shop industry. It had not been for them people down there, we'd had a lot of tax dollars today for our people. And I might be financially independent with the wheeze in, wheeze out smoke shops all over like Quick Trip stores. But unfortunately, it didn't happen due to those people down south. They're not only after us, they're after some things that we've got that nobody else has. That's our corporate charter. So be careful. This election year, be careful. I want to start a Katua home health care business, and we're going to do that. That's with the corporate board. We're going to try that because we need it for our people. They're not going to do anything for us. It's a good business, lucrative, and also, I got another announcement to make here right quick. I don't know how familiar any of you are with the Skills USA. It's a student organization. Frankie's one of his granddaughters was a member. It's one of the biggest student organizations in the United States today for trade and industrial education. I've been invited to be a judge at the Tahlequah campus up here for the career services, February the 12th. I'd like for Brittany to come up there if you get a chance on the 12th. If you don't have anything scheduled, take a few pictures because I'm going to be a judge participating. It's a competition. Now, the career services is a class that all these VOTEC or career tech schools have throughout the state. It's for special needs children. It's a very good program. It turns them into, where they can be productive citizens, give them an opportunity. And they have a competition. This is the district competition. It's going to be held here at the Tahlequah campus for whatever district. And they invited me or asked me if I would come up and judge one of the contests, and I agreed to. I'd like to see us be more proactive with these schools throughout our 14 county jurisdiction. I have a relationship with the Skills USA. I was a sponsor of that for 7 years. As you all know, I used to be an instructor there, and I'm proud to say that I produced 7 state champions. in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is the top state in the United States for Skills USA competition. So I'm kind of honored to be asked to come up there and be a judge, and it is for a very good cause. And I want as many Katua children to get enrolled in these programs as they can. And so education is a big thing for me. And I'll tell you something else, when we get to this budgeting, I want some education dollars appropriated. Somehow, some way, we need to dig it up because we got a lot of students that's coming through our education department over there, and Della doesn't have the funds right now. So that's top priority too. February the 12th, will be at the competition up here, and it's called Career Services at the Telequal campus of ICTC, Indian Capital Technology Center. And I'm going to be a judge for one of their competitions. I think it's Tool ID, but it's for special needs children. It's a good program. It's a big thing. It's a big event. They get to come and compete, and they go to state competition on this, and as well as the nationals. And so anyway, that's kind of concludes my report, and I'll entertain some questions from council if they'd like.
Jamie, I'd like to say something in regards to the home health. I've worked home health for greater than 10 years, and I know Jeff has been with, and I've worked with several different companies. And in regards to that, that's something that I was looking into the best of practices with other tribes. And there are a lot of, I think sometimes putting all of our money into, excuse me, one type of revenue, which has been the casino, has been one of our biggest drawbacks as a tribe. And in regards to that, when you get off into the health department, there are a lot of self-sustaining places. I work at one right now, but the home health agencies, they depend on Medicare and Medicaid for their funding, and they do have certain criteria. And I have worked with one company that dealt with nothing but Medicare money, and then another company that dealt with Medicaid. And there is a big difference, and a lot of people don't understand the difference between Medicare and Medicaid, but there is a big difference. And those that are too young for Medicare, they depend upon Medicaid for their health benefits. And in regards to that, I think that is a great idea. And I foresee in the future that if we can put together our own home health agency, and sometimes that branches off into a hospice industry. And also, right now, one of the biggest needs, and Jeff can tell you this, in this particular community and in our old area, I worked with a marketer, and we marketed for a home health agency. And we looked into how many elderly people do we have in Northeast Oklahoma. That is where the revenue generating industry is in our elderly people and the needs that they have. And in regards to that, when we did our marketing, we found thousands of potential clients. And I'll be honest with you, one particular organization, the reason they hired me, and I knew it, they had no American Indian patients at all in that home health agency. And there were only 80 patients that they had. And they had been in this town for about 10 years. And so when I started working with the marketer, I already had my foot in the door at Hastings because I worked there for 20 years. And I knew the discharge planner. And a lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
And so when they hired me and I started working with them, and I came here as an educator, basically working with the Katuas, and we came here once a month, and that agency still does. They come here once a month. And we worked with the Katua people. We picked up a lot of clients just because of, like I said, I speak Cherokee. And before it was all said and done, we almost had a monopoly on the wound care doctor at Hastings and a lot of the doctors at Hastings. And because I speak Cherokee, I was able to pick up a lot of Cherokee speaking patients. And when I left that agency, there was 210 patients that we had established. And I'm not saying that to, glorify me. What I'm saying is they used a method that, and they basically used me because I'm American Indian. But what you're saying makes sense. There is a way to open up a home health agency.
Well, I appreciate all that, and I know a gentleman that's a member of another tribe that has agreed to help us any way he can. They want to help the Katua. There's a lot of tribes that want to help Katua. And with all that being said, I'm going to volunteer you and Jeff to help us put that together, if you don't
Well,
mind. The corporate board. So we have our meetings, and if I can get him to come or somebody to come and talk to us about that, I'd like for you all to participate in that. If you would, I'd certainly appreciate you being, because your ex officio officers at our corporate board meetings, you're always welcome there, and they're open to the public. But I told Randall after the other night, I left here and it was like a revelation hit me. We can do this. And I'm going to do it. I've just made the affirmation. I want to get this done.
well, the
And
need
I
is here.
expect you all's
Yeah.
input on that too, because you're the subject matter experts on this. Okay.
Yeah, there's also need for like assisted living centers or nursing homes, and also medical equipment. At one time, MEA here in town was up for sale, and I actually reached out to the Katuas and was like, "Hey, that's a good deal right there," because everybody needs the medical equipment.
And they had the
it's-
money to buy it then,
it's-
probably.
and it's going to be self-sustaining.
Yeah.
It's the money's always going to be there.
It
and,
is.
everybody that knows that needs something,
I'm on board with you guys.
I actually
100%.
go out and receive donations for hospital beds, walkers, wheelchairs, stuff like that. I just delivered a couple of walkers this past week, hospital beds, shower chairs to some of the members that requested. On Tuesday night, I had a couple of members show up to the meeting and requested some equipment. I was able to take that out to them. I have access, so if anybody's out there that is in need of any type of medical equipment, please reach out to me, and I do have access to stuff like that.
Also, I'd like to add to that. You just made me think of something here that I heard in your meeting the other night. That one of the big objectives is bathing elderly people. A lot of them don't have proper facility to bathe proper. Now, I've been in construction business for years and years, and I have installed 2 of these handicap tubs where the door opens and you go in and close that. We had to tear out remodel the bathroom. So, and that allows people to bathe normally under circumstances prior to that they wouldn't have. And so those
I
are
work
some
as
things
a
that
home
I
care.
think that we need to do for our people. It can be done. And like you said, there's opportunity to get that done.
Well, that's what I do. I go into homes looking for issues that can help people stay home, like as in keep them out of the nursing home, and help the caregivers. And in regards to that, I've worked with elderly for years. And just like Jeff said, the needs here in this little area, there are not enough assisted living facilities. And basically what these are facilities where people are still able to do their own bathing and they just need help with their medications. And it's not necessarily, it's almost set up like a nursing home. And we've got one establishment here that has an assisted living, patients that live in apartments until they get to that point to where they need help. They go to assisted living. And then from there, they actually go into the nursing home environment if that's what they need. And it's set up that way.
In our housing department, I'm going to add this too. The housing department in our little elder homes that we've talked about, this has been an issue that we want to try to solve is to keep our elderly people home. And that was one of the things, these little houses that we've designed, they're all handicap, going to be handicap accessible. Because I don't think any of us want to see our loved one go to a nursing home if there was any way we could keep them home. I know our people would take care of them, and you know, and so that's one thing. That was one of the main points that we pointed out. Chairman Steele and all us talked about that. So these little houses, that's something we're trying to do for our elderly people, is to build them where they can be, you know, right close to their family and have facilities that will accommodate what you guys are talking about. So anyway, I know we kind of got off my report, but I certainly appreciate y'all's input on that over there. Thank you very much, Chief.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. We're moving along. Item number 7, public forum. Nobody in public forum? All right, we'll move to, yep.
Excuse me, council. Since there's no ones to speak in reference to public forum, Travis, are you here? Yes. Are you wanting your time for your, or you want me to just read them to the council? Okay. All right. Well, then we'll just continue on.
I would just like to make an announcement. I have spoken with NICOA, Tanya Harjo with the NICOA, and the AARP, Tracy Calloway out of Tulsa. They're coming on Wednesday to the Elders Nutrition site for the Senior Community Service Employment Program, which is a senior 55 and older program, and there's flyers right up there for any information, any questions y'all have. But you can get paid to volunteer as like a foster grandparent at the schools, volunteer at churches. Also, I've spoken with Becky Dreadful Water here. They're looking for a dishwasher, and they're willing to cover that cost for no cost at all, out of pocket to the tribe. They're willing to pay somebody to come in, 55 and older, that's willing to do it, and wash dishes, and that would cut cost for the program, because currently the program is spending money every day on disposables. They're throwing away their plasticware, every day. So that would save the program a lot of money if we could get a dishwasher in there. So it's a positive, really good positive program. So I would just like to invite folks out. The NICOA program covers the outlying counties, Adair, Sequoia, and I'm not quite sure what else, but the AARP covers Cherokee County. So they'll be here on Wednesday during lunch. So anybody interested, please come out and get some information, ask questions, whatever. So I appreciate all y'all's assistance. These ladies are coming in. One's coming from Tulsa, the other's coming from Oklahoma City. So, so we reached out to them to help us.
Jeff, the AARP also covers Delaware County.
Yeah,
I just found out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm interested in that also. But we also need a couple of people. I was hoping that they would allow us to have someone to help clean up our building over there, because there's a lot of help. There's a lot of places we could use their help.
Yes.
All right, Councilor. Additionally, in your packet, there's actually a form for recommending elder honors as well. So be sure to look at that. It's the AARP 2019 Oklahoma Indian Elder Honor nominations. Last year, we had Mr. Sammy Steele as well as Mr. Albert Shade representing the tribe on that for their contributions to the community and keeping our culture alive with bow making, marble making, storytelling, and so on. So please look at that. If you have it's self-explanatory. I'll let you deal with that April 30th, the deadline, I believe, and we'll go from there.
Just at your seating, you had this purpose of the UKB CCDF program that came from the child care. They just want you to look at that, and if you have any constituents that would like to or have a need for in-home child care, And they have all the information here for you if you have any that come across for childcare.
Okay, unfinished business. Moving on to item number 8. In your packet, you had 2 resumes. Mr. Tripp, as well as Mr. Dry. We'll move to this item number 8 of unfinished business. Council discussion to vote, approve, disapprove, employment of Douglas G. Drive attorney for the purpose of UKB District Judge, replacing District Judge Dwayne Littlejohn. Discussion.
Yeah, I think and I appreciate Mr. Dry showing back up here again today, but we got this other resume and for this gentleman. Did anybody bother to contact him to see if he would?
I looked a little bit into, well, I looked at his resume and I did contact somebody that knew the gentleman.
Well, as I understand, he expressed interest after he realized the position was open. But what I'm asking is, did anybody care to contact him to see if he could come to here to be interviewed? Mr. Dry came last month, and of course it was spur of the moment too. But he did show up here, and we got to talk to him a little bit. But this gentleman here, in all fairness, I feel like that he's made an effort to submit a resume and an application that maybe we need to visit with him before moving forward on this action. That's just my opinion. No disrespect.
I also am aware that we've got some cases coming up with child ICW real soon, so we do need a judge as soon as possible.
Raven, when is the next court date?
I want to say that I agree with Jamie, and let's not be hasty in decisions, and let's take both into consideration and sit down and give the other gentleman the opportunity to also interview.
Okay.
Okay, I'd just like to follow up on Jamie's. Mr. Tripp was contacted by, I'm going to say, was it the Modocs at the last court that we had? And Little John had announced his resignation, so they went back to their department. So this gentleman, that's how he came interested, because he was told that we would be needing a district judge. So that's how he came to the interest.
Okay, if that's what the council wants to do, let's move forward then. Table it for the moment. Come back. Okay. We have a motion made and seconded that we table this.
Can,
Let's. I think we need to decide here.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay,
Can we decide?
go
Can we
ahead.
decide a date to actually like sit down with Mr.
Right.
Dry here?
Yeah, that's
and sit down with Mr. Tripp, because all we're doing is reading these resumes. We have never sat down and talked to these gentlemen. And like I said, Charles Tripp is a CNO member, and he's on the Cherokee Nation Bar Association. And the folks have already made it very clear that they did not want another judge that was associated with CNO. So, that's looking at that right there. That's going to be a tough thing that we have to take into consideration. Mr. Dry here, he's got a good resume also.
Yeah.
So I mean, we
agree
really
with-
got our work cut out.
I
for
agree
us.
with everything you say, but in all fairness, when people submit interest or show interest or submit an application, I think that we as a council should give them the opportunity to come here and visit with us.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
My
Yeah.
point was, I was going to say was, we need to set a time frame
Yes.
to talk to
Yes.
this gentleman so we can move forward.
Okay.
And that being said, somebody needs to get a hold of him and say, hey, we'd
One
like-
of the things, if I can just interrupt here and just make this note. When we call the last special meeting, this month I'd like to do another meeting on February 16th. but I don't want to call it a special meeting. I'd rather call it an agenda meeting for the legalities behind it, as far as continue to call meeting after meeting. But in the agenda meeting, what we will do is talk about the issues coming forward. And I think, Jeannie, I think you talked about that in the opening remark, that we need to meet more than one time a month. At this meeting on February 16th, if we can do that, we can bring Mr. Tripp in at that time. Good enough? Okay. Mr. Dry, I apologize for this, and we can go for, as a matter of fact, if you want, we'd have both of them there at the same time, or stagger them at that point. Stagger time.
I agree.
Okay, rather than,
Let me clarify something, Chief. As I understand, you want to have this meeting, but you're not wanting to conduct business? Is that what you're saying, or you want to conduct business that day?
it's to clarify the business. It's to clarify. And if we need to, council, can we?
It would be like a planning session that the pre-K council does. They have a planning session before their actual meeting. And I think what you're asking for is to have a session to talk about the business that's going to be done the next regular.
Right. That sort of issue there. That way we can catch everything in between. We can talk about it then and there. We can put it in play and vote on it at the next meeting if we, I don't know, what was the word you identified that as, ratified at the next meeting. Good? Does that make sense?
I honestly believe that if we're gonna do the every 2 week, like we've been doing, we've got so many issues to take care of. I think we still need to conduct business. I mean, even though,
And we will. We
I
will
mean,
make the
we don't
decision
need to
there.
just keep kicking the can down the road. Let's see
Right.
if we're
We
gonna.
will make it there, but we can ratify, we can put it in play. We'll re-ratify it at the regular meeting. The same principle as the emergency telephone vote that we used to do.
If there is business that needs to be conducted at this meeting, then maybe it should be a special meeting and you can have discussion and then you can pass actions and you wouldn't have to ratify them later.
At that point, we could call a special meeting right then and there. If there's 7, we can go.
Isn't there a
No.
notice requirement?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about those committees that we approved. We need to appoint them.
You don't,
That's real soon.
you don't actually have to, even if you call it a special meeting, you don't have to do anything or pass any resolutions if there's nothing to pass or approve. If it's just a discussion meeting, it can still be a special meeting. But if you call a special meeting, that way, if there is something you need to do, then you can go ahead and do it.
I much prefer that.
Okay, we'll do it that way. Special meeting on February 16th, 10 a.m.
So are you saying to have a regular meeting like we do on the 1st of February, but the special meeting on the 16th? Okay, that's fine.
10 a.m.
Well, it
Yes.
appears the first item on the agenda would be to interview Mr. Tripp. Beg your pardon? Well, we've already interviewed him. Yeah, that was when you had the funeral. So I know he don't want to keep driving over here, so, we've
Okay.
already talked to him. And I will
Okay.
point out one of the things that Mr. Dry said that I really liked, that he enjoyed what we're doing here at this council meeting. He pointed that out, that the tribe he's a member of, they already got everything conducted and they get turned, it's slam dunk and the people don't even get to know what's going on. I like that. You said that. And that's what you said you liked about this meeting, is that we do conduct business here in open. And I've always been that way. If I don't have anything to hide, if I've got something to hide, then I don't need to be on this council.
Okay, here we go. And are you going to vote to table?
So, Madam Secretary, I just made a motion to table, at the next, it doesn't matter when, at the next meeting or whatever, because we do want to vote on one or the other, looks like. So is that, do I need to rescind that motion? Because it was motioned and seconded. That was just to table this item here.
You want to table it until the March meeting, or would you prefer to
No.
address it at the 16th meeting? Okay. Well, with that, I will note it as the change of number 1 to be tabled, and we'll add until February 16th special meeting. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. So Director, when was it that you needed a judge? The next? March 3rd? No, 3rd, oh, okay, 3rd Friday. I was gonna say 3rd's on a Sunday anyway.
Okay, council, if there's no more discussion, under item 8, unfinished business, the
Madam Secretary, I have a motion, and I noticed you didn't have new business on there. So could we go ahead and, oh, yeah, yep, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
let
getting
me-
ahead of myself.
Okay, council, the language will remain the same, and we will add until the February 16th special meeting. And that is a motion by Ella May and a second by Jeannie. I will call for vote. Eddie is absent. Jeannie,
Yes.
Ella May,
Yes.
Adeline,
Wow.
Frankie, Sharon,
Yes,
I vote yes. Peggy is absent. Jamie,
Yes.
Charles is absent. Barry, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, council, motion carries. Count of 9.
16, 10 a.m. Yes, sir.
Yeah, new business.
Okay.
You don't have new business on here, but it's just a simple motion. Okay. I just want to make a motion to approve to place the EDTO as coordinator for the ELOC system. And that's for the housing system, that he can go into there, and formal representative for the tribe on federal programs and systems. Since he's been working on that, I think we need to do that anyway. Yeah, yeah. It includes all federal programs. Yeah, yeah. 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 And Joyce, here's the write-up.
Okay, now, let me ask a question. This basically will throw the responsibility on you, if I understand this correctly, that this next audit better not be late.
Yes,
let me ask you a question. A lot of these programs are timed, right?
Right.
They're on a
Right.
time limit,
Yes,
and a lot of them have to be checked off for certain things.
right.
Okay.
So since he's been working with the federal programs, I just think it's only right that he be able to do these sort of things that needs to be done
You get them
at
in
the
like
right time.
they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
the issue with the like yesterday when those excuse me, when those reports, when the funding got cut, the directors got notification, but I would get it automatically before it would happen so that we
Yeah.
could address it before
Okay.
any thing bad
Okay.
happened.
So you would
Okay.
have to notify the federal programs to put you on there, right?
Yeah, and this just formally, I'm on some of them already, but this just formalizes it. So
Well, this only
There's no
makes
question.
sense because this is what an EDTO, and that why we only have one person sitting here in front of us to give an explanation of something's late.
Right. Yes.
Sean,
Barry did. Barry did.
Sean,
Thank
I
you.
just have one request, that anytime action is done, that you just copy all the council. So
Yes,
we're
I
just
will.
aware that. you know,
Yes.
things
Yep.
are happening as through the day-to-day business.
Okay.
That's what we was wanting previously, wasn't happening, Yes, appreciate it.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, we will note this as, since it wasn't on the agenda, we'll go ahead and name it new business. And we have a motion by LMA and a second by Barry. And it's to read, to approve to place the EDTO as coordinator for the ELOC system and formal representative for the tribe on federal programs and systems. I will call for vote. Eddie is absent. Jeannie,
Yes.
LMA,
Yes.
Adeline,
Well,
Frankie, Sharon,
Yes,
I vote yes. Peggy is absent. Jamie,
Yes.
Charles is absent. Barry,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, council. Motion carries, count of 9.
All right, thank you, council. If there's not any further, we'll move to item number 9, executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Okay, council, executive session is up for vote. I would ask for to enter executive session just with allowed 30 minutes. If not that.
I second your motion for 30 minutes.
Okay, we have a motion made and second.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what.
So your 30 minutes and
He's
then we'll
allowed
give
his
him,
time.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, who's, so who second that? Adeline? Okay, council, I will call for vote to enter executive session with an allowed time of 30 minutes. It is with the motion by Joyce and the second by Adeline. It is absent. Jeannie,
Yes.
LMA,
Yes.
Adeline,
Well,
Frankie, Sharon,
yes.
I vote yes. Peggy is absent. Jamie,
Yes.
Charles is absent. Barry,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries with the count of 9. We enter at time.
11:19. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
before you go, you want to, the Attorney General as well as the, Travis as well.
I have got to take a break. The ladies' room. I'm so grateful.
That's Janice you're thinking about. Janice? Yeah. It's gonna be every month, yeah. Good. Housing from here, housing from here. I didn't see that.
Thank you, Derek. All right.
So there's a warning, last warning.
Okay, is your camera ready?
Like, hey, they didn't play hard.
Okay.
You won.
Okay, council, I will call for vote to, with a motion and a second to exit. I need a motion.
Motion.
Frankie?
Well, I'll second it if he made a motion, I'll second.
All right.
Yeah.
Frankie, second. Okay, that is item number 9 on the agenda. I will call for vote. Eddie is absent. Jeannie?
Yes.
LMA?
Yes.
Adeline?
Oh, well,
Frankie?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
I vote yes. Peggy is absent. Jamie?
Yes.
Charles is absent. Barry?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, we are out of executive session into the regular meeting at 12:38.
All right, thank you, council. Thank you for that. Item number 10 is going into announcements. Any announcements?
I'm having Delaware District meeting at J Community Center, February 14th at 6 p.m. 6 p.m.
Anybody else? Okay, we're moving right along to item number 11, benediction. Let's give benediction.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this day, Lord.
Make it right, LMA.
Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you, Lord, for that come together again. Father, I pray, Lord, that you just bless this pride, Father, bless the leaders, Father. Father, help us as counsel, Lord, just to walk one accord, Father, with one another. Father, we just give you all the praise, honor, and glory, Lord, for just providing us with the things that we need, Father, to provide for our people. Father, I just ask, Lord, to give us all safe having ready home. Be with those, Lord, that are sick. To be with Eddie's father. To be with Peggy's mother, Father. Father, I ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Barry.
Motion. Motion. Yep. Thank you, council, and I will put this down as from
Oh.
Bible Conference.
No, really, esto está.
All right, man, I'll help you.